Everybody knows that copywriting is really important when it comes to converting users to actually go and buy our stuff, specifically direct response copy. And there are 4 secrets that I'd like to share with you after generating over 200 million with direct consumer and business to businesses with paid advertising. I'm going to show you everything I know about direct response copy. You can steal all of my secrets, implement them into your own business, and make money. Let's get into it. We'll start off with a cold hard truth. I love these, okay? Nobody, and I mean nobody except you and maybe a couple close friends and business partners, actually cares about your offer at first. You have a job as a marketer. You must build emotional equity with your business and product. Meaning, you need to present your offer in a way that resonates with your target market. I know I'm not speaking rocket science here, guys, but I want to simplify it so that as we move through the other stages, we understand where we started, right? Typically, that means hitting particular pain points, building that emotional equity, getting people to buy in to whatever it is that you offer. And you can do this by 2 different ways, right? You can highlight certain benefits or provide a transformation from A to B. Customer is dealing with a problem. Let's hypothetically say that you sell skincare, right? Customer is dealing with acne. Your product is the transformation from having acne and feeling ugly and all the other things that come with that to the end goal of not having acne. And your product is that bridge, right? That's the transformation. And we can also highlight the benefits without even talking about the problem. That typically works better for a middle and bottom of funnel audience, whereas the transformation typically works better for top of funnel. And once you solve this problem, you start to build that emotional equity. And when you write in a direct response way, it prompts people to take action immediately after building that emotional equity. You don't have to follow a set of rules like your high school writing prompts. Guys, I don't know about you, I was really, really, really good at writing in high school, right? I think I had a class of maybe 100 people at my grade. It was a smaller school in the country of Virginia. And even though I'm from Canada, long story, I got a 5 on my writing assignment. Out of 100 people that took that assignment in the 11th grade, I was the only one to get a 5. I followed that structure. Right? And I don't say that to brag. I say it to prove a point here when I'm saying you have to throw that stuff out the window. In school, you have a set structure of how you write an essay. If you deviate from that structure, you are punished. Okay? In the real world, when it comes to writing copy, for the purposes of selling your product or service and making money, there is no set rule, except build emotional equity with your customers. That's it. Okay? Anything goes as long as you build that emotional equity. And of course, as long as you're compliant with terms and conditions of the platform you're advertising on and you're not harming your brand. Okay, that's the cold hard truth. Let's get into balancing the direct response style with equity. So, here's an extreme. Here's what you used to be able to get away with when you're running ads like 4 or 5 years ago. Oh my God, get 3 product before they're all gone by now, a bunch of emojis, exclamation marks, etc., right? It's rushed, it's off-putting, and it gives a poor user experience. Remember, what is the business objective of Meta and TikTok, or any other advertising platform for that matter? Their business objective is to keep users on the platform engaged and happy so that they have more ad inventory to sell to you and I. If your ad copy provides a negative user experience, your CPMs, or cost per 1,000 impressions, will rise. And moreover, annoyed customers will get that post-purchase survey, especially if they purchase on Facebook. And if they had a negative experience at any part of your customer journey, that's going to influence how they review your business. Even if you have perfect shipping times, even if your product or service is world-class, if you start a customer journey with this bullshit at the top, you're not going to get as highly reviewed as you could. Simple put, okay? And Facebook knows this, Facebook doesn't like it, and if you do it enough, your ad account or your entire business manager could get shut down. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to have to deal with that. And some of these bans, guys, as well, they last an indefinite amount of time. If you get banned on your personal business or your personal Facebook page, so there's tiers to it, right? So you have your ad gets rejected, your ad account gets shut down, your business manager gets shut down, and then your personal Facebook profile gets shut down. If your personal Facebook profile gets shut down, you can't run ads ever again with your profile, with your IP, pixel, all that. Credit card, they track everything, guys. Your name, your address. You basically have to go Walter White or Jesse Pinkman and get a whole new identity. Okay? Or Saul Goodman, I guess, would be a better example of that. So if you want to go down that road and you want to test your luck, be my guest. But what I recommend to clients that actually want to stay in this game for the long run is to get in the heads of their target audience. Actually put some effort into the research phase of copy. You need to balance direct response with building brand equity. Okay? You need to connect with your audience on a deep level with your copy and push them down your customer journey without being cheesy, against terms of service, and controversial. Okay? So, let's actually take a look at what that looks like in practice. How do we balance direct response with building equity of our brand? There are two formulas that I like to use when writing copy here. We have AIDA, attention, interest, desire, action, or PASS, problem, agitate, solution. And there are two use cases for each of these. AIDA typically works really well for long form copy. And so if you have a product or service that's more expensive, maybe you're trying to get a booked call, or maybe you have a high average order value, I would definitely recommend AIDA, especially for top of funnel. Or if you're targeting a demographic that's maybe a little bit older, 45 plus, AIDA works wonders there. If your product is more of an impulse buy, right? Maybe it's a really cheap average order value, like $15 or something. Maybe you're targeting a really young audience, right? PASS works well for short form copy. And some more examples of where and when to use these. If you're using AIDA, typically again for more nurturing when your AOV is high and you have a high ticket offer. If you're using PASS, you're typically writing a hook in your primary text, right? You're writing an email, or you have some PASS copy at the above the page fold on your landing page, which is basically like the headline and the first thing that people see when they click your ad and load your landing page. And the best part about both these frameworks is they are compliant with Meta and TikTok. They do hijack the brain of the human being to build that emotional equity that we spoke about earlier. And they get into the cognitive biases, okay? They basically trick the mind into wanting to pay attention to your product or service, which is the entire point of direct response copywriting. Here's an example. With the AIDA formula, thousands of moms are raving about this 5-day cleanse and reset kit. Attention. That's the attention part, right? Interest. Imagine losing 5 to 10 pounds in less than a week, all thanks to 3 secret ingredients the food industry doesn't want you to know about. Building interest for whatever it is that we're selling. Right? Now we've built that emotional equity, we now have to convert it. Get ready to wear that dress on your next night out because you'll be looking and feeling better than ever. That's the desire. I want this thing now. I'm interested. I've had my attention captured. I'm interested. I want it. Now what do I do next? Action. Tap or click now to get yours at a special discount only while inventory lasts. And you can, plug and play whatever your particular discount is. Maybe it's buy one, get one, 50% off, blah, 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 right? AIDA formula works wonders. Now let's take a look at, this should be PASS. My bad, guys. Problem, agitate, solution. Let's look at an example. Problem. Have you ever struggled to fit into a pair of jeans? Not being able to do the things you used to can be disheartening, leaving you unmotivated to improve, right? So we tell the customer what their problem is. We get into their shoes. We get into their world. We agitate that problem by telling them a real-life example, right, of something that they might be dealing with in their head or in their daily lives. And then we present the solution. That's why we created this 5-day cleanse and reset kit. Our customers have reported a 5 to 7 pound drop in weight over 5 days, along with feeling less bloated and overall healthier. So you can kind of see how these formats play out with the direct examples. And look, these are also great. You can definitely use Ada for short form copy as well, guys. But the pass I would typically recommend for a headline on your landing page, or again if you're running a low AOV, low ticket type of product, right? Now let's also talk about primary text here, because look, those formulas are great, but we want to have a hook in the primary text, which is that section above our creative on Meta, right? And so we need to utilize the digital real estate that primary text provides in the best way possible, because we know that in a feed placement or in a story or reel placement, whatever it is, you don't see the full copy unless you click the See More button, right? You only see the first little section, and then someone actually has to click on that See More button to view everything. And so in an ideal world, we want to read the hook, capture attention, but also spark interest, which means that they're more likely to interact with our ad and click through to our website or landing page or post-click experience. So a couple of ideas here for the primary text specifically on your ad. You can ask a question. I spent maybe 50 grand on this primary text like 4 or 5 years ago when I was running a dropshipping store before I got into this all professionally, right? Did you know that 3 out of 4 dogs suffer from oral disease? Imagine seeing this as the first line of your primary text on Meta when you have a dog. You're telling me that's not going to capture your attention and spark interest? Come on. You can also make them feel left out of the loop. Teachers are going crazy about this hot new ruler, as an example, right? I'm sure there's cooler products to sell to teachers. But teachers, they want to feel like they're part of the teacher club, right? You can do this for any niche, not just teachers. You can also use testimonials. Testimonials are great. My sleep has been so sound ever since I got my magic pillow. Testimonials are a great way to build social proof, trust, and authenticity. Okay, conclusion here. Basically, what we just went through are principles, right? But principles can only take you so far. You need to know how to put all of it together to build your direct response emotional equity. I want you to throw out everything you learned in school about how to write ad copy or how to write anything, really. It's just the formula does not work. Except for, of course, some basic grammar and spelling. You don't want to misspell words for the most part. But the way that you write an essay is completely different than the way you write successful direct response copy. And one trick, if you can leave this video with any one thing, I want you to learn this. Write like you talk. Imagine you're sitting down at a coffee shop with your best friend and you're trying to explain to him how a particular product or service would benefit them. That is how, and the tonality of your voice, by the way, should also reflect in the copy. That is how you write direct response ad copy. It's a skill like any other. You probably are not going to be very good at it in the beginning, and that's fine. You have to put in your dues, you have to put in the work to build up your skill so that you can make money with this, okay? I hope you enjoyed this video. If you learned something useful, please drop a like or a comment wherever you're watching this on the internet, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.